The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No, me, no voice, no guy. It's me, Billy Sorrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Check, test. Can we hear me in the chat? Am I good to go here? Solo episode today of the WNBA show. Yes, very much so. Large slate. A lot of things to talk about. It's really not too much to talk about. I look at the slate and it's like, what is it? 6 games? No, it's 5 games. 5 games going on. A lot of injury news that needs to be talked about. A lot of stuff going on. Yes, Scott is missing. We can't find Scott. Scott's not right here. But I'll still play it.
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Pour one for my guy Scott here. All right. I'm not wasting any time. I'm just going to sit here. This is more of like a pregame live show rather than a live stream, something like that. So don't expect too much. I'll keep in the chat. Make sure that I'm checking in the chat, answering questions in the chat. So if you got questions, you want to know about something, we can look into it in the chat. But other than that, you're just rocking with me here today, and that's perfectly fine with me. First off, before I get to everything that I want to get to, I have to remind you all about the Sports Gambling Podcast coming back. They have their 32 NFL previews going on where you can get paid with the phrase that pays. So you can go listen to each episode. They give you a 1 word of a 32-word phrase. And if you submit that 32-word phrase at the end of the team previews, you can have a chance to win $1,000 Circa future. So make sure you do that. Go listen to all 32 NFL team previews. I was on the New York Giants one. Got a whole bunch of more to go. So make sure you tap in with the Sports Gambling Podcast. All right. First game up. Best team up. My Valkyries going up against the Connecticut Sun. My Valkyries are laying 5.5. It actually opened up at 6.5, believe it or not. 157.5 is the total. Injury report. If you don't know, this is kind of breaking news. I don't think we were able to talk about this the last time on the show. I don't think it even came out yet. We have Kayla Thornton, who is out for the rest of the season for the Golden State Valkyrie. She's their all-star, and it's a pretty big piece missing. But you know me, I'm not worried about my Valkyries at all because my Valkyries have depth. My Valkyries have a number of pieces. Janelle Salon plays for the Valkyries. And let's just go ahead and start this game here. And let's just start it with Janelle Salon because that is who I'm 100% backing in this game. I've been a big Janelle Salon fanatic ever since I've been talking to y'all about the Valkyries. I've told y'all a million times she's better than her NBA brother. And she can go out there hoop as a rookie, get it done. She played Team France, has the experience, and constantly been able to score. So her points per, let's see what Janelle. I thought it was at 11.5. Let me double check. Where's 13.5 now? So she's at 13.5. She's been very good. Had 16 in the last game where she was. What was her field goal attempts in that game? She was 6 for 14, so she didn't even shoot the ball that well against Dallas, and she was able to get to 16 points against Dallas. Imagine if she shoots the ball well. She could get to 20 rather easily. She has a 20-point game in the last 10. Looking at the minutes count, when she gets the extended minutes, she does perform. Last 2 games with 30-plus minutes, she's gone over this prop. So I expect to see her have another 30-plus minute game here. I think 13.5 is still too short for her. I think she can get close to 20. I like the rebounds, too. If you don't want to play the points, let's see what the rebounds are here. Janelle Salon. 6.5. Yeah, no Kayla Thornton. Kayla Thornton was accounting for like what 7, 8 rebounds a game. It felt like she was always really really big for them on the glass. And this Valkyries team does crash the glass, not even on the defensive glass, but the offensive glass as well. So I like Janelle Salon over 6.5 rebounds. That's plus 120. Yeah, I'll take a stab at that for sure. She's had 7 in the past couple of games. Again, last 2 games with 30 plus minutes, she's gone over this prop. So I like Janelle props all day. Let's see here. What's going on? Oh, shout out to Tim. First time checking out the live show. Well, sorry that it's your first time checking out the show live and Scott's not here. This is something. Chat's also on Salon. Yeah, I would ladder Salon today. I think that's a really good one. A Burton game. It could be. Let's see. So let's talk about the game a little bit. So totals at 157.5. They don't expect a lot of scoring. I'm not of that same mindset. I actually think that we'll see a decent amount of points here, whether it's the Connecticut Sun who just won't do anything defensively, or yeah, that's really what it is for me. The Suns' defense is horrible. The Valkyries' defense is good, but they're actually not as good as they are at home as they are on the road, which, not a big surprise. They're giving up about 80 points on the road, which is still not bad. Like a flat 80 isn't bad, but this is a low total at 157.5. I know it's because the Valkyries' offense kind of dies at times, especially in the second half, and you have this Sun team where they just defensively cannot get stops, and I just don't trust them to be able to force enough stops when they really really need it, especially if they get out early in this game, which I doubt. Of course, the Valkyries been very very good to the first half number, and so I'm not one thinking that this is going to be one of those low scoring games where the Valkyries defense just kind of holds the Sun offense. I think the Valkyrie will let the Sun score, but it's just because the Valkyrie are going to have close to 90 points here, and they're not going to be ashamed to give up 70 to the Connecticut Sun, even more than that maybe. So I like over in this game. It doesn't feel like an under game for me. I think I saw somebody talking about it. I don't feel an under game here. I think that the pace of play is going to be picked up a little bit here in Connecticut, and I think the Valkyries are going to be able to score at will, and they'll really, really drive that total up. So I like an over for the game, over 157.5. I just think that total's a little short. I could see it coming in at like 161, 162, something like that, and it feels like it was an under, but it really sneaks over. Of course, Valkyries are the play. Like, I mean, Valkyries first half. What's the first half number? 2.5. 2.5 for you right now. There's your play. Of course, you're playing Valkyries first half. I like the Valkyries for the game as well, but I'll stick to the first half bit there. Let's see. Anything else player prop wise that I am intrigued? I know I said I'd go look into Burton. What's Burton's numbers? Let's see here. I normally play Veronica Burton points and assists. I don't know how y'all play it, but I normally play her points and assists. It's been pretty good for me. Let's see. It's been a couple of down games here against Seattle and Dallas, but still, 4 of the last 6 games, and what is this? 5 of her last 8, she's still gone over 17.5 points and assists. Kelsey Plum had a good game. Kelsey Mitchell had a good game. Caitlin Clark got over the number, even though she didn't have a good game. Plum again. Skylar Diggins got over the number, even though she didn't have a good game. Skylar Diggins got over again. Erica Wheeler went over. Jackie Young. So they're letting guards get over this number. So again, more usage, ball in her hand, more for Burton. I definitely like the Veronica Burton play over 17.5. Sorry, I would love to do a recap of all the picks, but some of this stuff I'm spitballing. Other stuff I haven't necessarily gotten to the window on, so I'm not going to give a recap, but I'll give my lock and dog for sure. Like, I'll still have a lock and dog. And then you gotta keep track. You gotta keep track in what things I like and what I don't like. But I haven't gotten to the window with a lot of this stuff yet. But those are just some things that I'm looking at here. I do think I like a Burton play, Salon for sure, and I like the over in this game. The over might actually make it to lock and dog. We'll see. But I do like the over in this game. I think the Valkyries is going to be able to score. All right. Let's see here. Next game up. Oh, this should be quick. Indiana Fever going up against the Chicago Sky. Sky are catching 9 at home. 156.5 is the total. Injury report, and we have. Oh, look at Scott was so great. Scott even did the lines for me. I didn't even realize this. Look at Scott. He's so awesome for me, man. All right. So, where are we at? Injury report. Angel Reese is questionable. This is going to be really long. Please grab a coffee or something. Angel Reese is questionable. Ariel Atkins is out. You have Mariah Jefferson. By the way, Mariah Jefferson looked hurt in that game. She's out. Haley Van Lith is questionable with an ankle injury. I think I said Angel Reese is questionable. Catherine Westfeld is not on the injury report. And we got Ariel Atkins out. Michaela Onyenwere questionable. All right. I mean, would you like to take your shot with this guy? Is that what you want to do? Do you want to take a stab on playing the Chicago Sky here? I don't. I'm one. First of all, if Angel's not playing, there's no way you could get me to place a bet on this guy. No possible way. Now, I do think that if Angel plays, it makes this interesting because all you need around Angel is shooters that are going to hit the open shots when the ball comes to them, because the ball is going to come to them, because they are going to throw a double. They're going to be physical. They're going to do everything to make sure Angel Reese doesn't have 20 points in the game. So when the ball comes to you, you got to make it. However, I'm not 100% sure they do that. I'm not even 100% sure Angel Reese plays. They could just go ahead and punt this game again. And so if they do that, I want nothing to do with Chicago Sky. If you saw that game with the Seattle Storm, without Ariel Atkins, without Angel Reese, this team has been horrible in 2 games against the Seattle Storm and Atlanta Dream. I think they've been outscored by a combined 100 points. Like, it's been really, really bad in those 2 games. So I want nothing to do with the Chicago Sky if Angel Reese isn't in the game. If Angel Reese is in the game, then you might tempt me with an ATS play here. But other than that, I don't really have nothing else. It's super duper chalk in this one. Give me the Indiana Fever if Reese doesn't play. If she does play, then I may be interested in something else. Maybe. But as for now, yeah, I see they have lines up for her, but they're going to put lines up for her because if she doesn't play, they'll just void it anyways. And so they do have lines up for her. I would play the assists if she does play, but and I would still play the rebounds. Her and Camilla, she's probably still gets her rebounds. So I would play like a RA or them separately, but I'm not interested in anything Chicago Sky right now until I know what's going on with Angel Reese. But even still, I might not be interested in Chicago Sky. The Fever are actually playing pretty solid ball. 9 is a lot of points on the road, though. So stay away from me. Nothing on the total in this one. Any Indiana Fever props that I'm interested in? Let's see. Anything here for the Fever that makes me want to play? Let's see. Update. All right. Well, another day. Is it only 12.5 still? Just go ahead and throw the Natasha Howard bet in there. She's at 18 points exact in 3 of her last 5 games. She's been over 12.5 in 6 of her last 10. She's been very, very good without Caitlin Clark. Without Caitlin Clark, she has been over 12.5 points in 8 of her last 10 games. This season, she is hold on. This season, she's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 of the last 10 has gone over for Natasha Howard without Caitlin Clark. So I'm going to just continue to keep betting that. That's what I'm on. I like Natasha Howard. Let's see here. Yeah, that is. Oh, I just saw that. I saw that pop up across my screen too. That is breaking news. Little add to the last game. Tina Charles is now questionable. They don't have Tina Charles. They're cooked. I'm telling you, the Valkyries. You might want to put Valkyries 20+ here. They might cook them if they don't got Tina Charles. So let's just add that in there. Let's see. All right. So Natasha Howard, for sure. That's starting to be an auto bet for me. She's been really, really good. They keep giving her the ball too. Anything else? Kelsey Mitchell play. Yeah, cool. What's her prop at? If it's under 20, then I understand wanting to play Kelsey Mitchell. Let's see. No, it's at 20.5. That's about where it should be at. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm still sticking Natasha Howard. Right now, that's the only play that I like in this one. Maybe in a layup Boston play, but you know how I kind of feel about that. Yeah, Natasha Howard's the best bet for me in this game. I don't want to play anything else. All right, let's see. Chat, W's in chat, W's in chat, W's in chat. Let me see. What's going on here? He says Scott may be sleeping. He did it in his video. So, by the way, just so you guys know, Scott doesn't sleep. Scott takes naps. Scott has. I don't think I've ever heard of Scott sleeping like 6 hours in a row. Scott just takes like very, very high quality naps, and he does those multiple times a day. So, they do have a hospital right now. Yeah, it's the American Red Cross over there in Chicago. Angel Reese under PRA. I don't know. She's been really good. And plus, what if she just stacks a bunch of rebounds? That'd be annoying. So I don't think I like that play. Miss Boston for a rebound. I don't know what that means. All right, cool. What's up? Let's get back to Circa Million and Circa Survivor. They are giving away $21 million in grand prizes over there at the world's greatest sportsbook, Circa Las Vegas, and hosting the biggest pro football contest in Circa Million, Circa Survivor, the Circa Grandissimo. Come hang out with SGPN at Circa Contest Weekend, August 21st through the 23rd, and you'll have a chance to catch some live shows. It's going to be a whole bunch of open bars. Plus, you get 15% off a stay with Circa and with the promo code SGP15. That is SGP15. Contest open to everyone. Sign up in Nevada and play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Best Ball Mania, happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. No waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best Ball is the way to go. You sign up, you draft, and you're locked in. Well, I'll also do a little underdog pick'em lineup at the end of the show. So sign up with promo code NBASGPN. Claim your special pick and first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. Underdogfantasy.com. Promo code NBASGPN. Any news on Cardosa? Is there supposed to be some Camilla news? I didn't see her on the injury report. Is there Camilla news that I didn't? Let me look up her name. Cardosa. No. I don't see anything. Yeah. Camilla's good to go. I don't see anything. All right. Next game up. Third game up. Las Vegas Aces on the road going to play the Dallas Wings. Wings catching 8.5, 167.5 is the total. This is also a hospital report. Paige Beckers is out due to rest. Maisha Hines Allen is out with the leg injury. I think there's something else going on. No. And that's it. The Aces don't have an injury report. They just suck. That's it. So that's the Aces injury report, that they suck. I mean, if you want to lay 8.5, I understand Dallas doesn't have Paige, and that is extremely concerning. But if you would like to lay 8.5 points with a team that in their last 10 games giving up 85 points per game on the road, 11th in WNBA, I guess you can. I think I'm good on it. I don't really know how I would play the Aces in this game. Well, the Aces have been getting off the fast starts. and blowing it in the second half. So maybe a first half play Aces. That Aces team total over 6-3 in the last 9 in the first half. Opponents for the Wings are 5-4 in the last 9. Okay. I wonder what their recent home games are looking like. Let me look into that. Are the Wings still giving up? Yeah. Still giving up points at home. Aces on the road, 3-1 in their last 4 road games to the team total over 4-0 against the spread in the first half in the last 4. So on the road, these are all road numbers, by the way. So I guess that's the way I would play it. I'd probably look towards Aces early, and it sounds about right. What up, Helms? It sounds about right with this Aces team constantly getting out early in games and then allowing teams back in the fold in the second half, or even making the first half competitive and then just completely not being there in the second half. Like that was somewhat of a competitive game against the Indiana Fever in the first half. Well, it was actually pretty competitive. And then they just completely folded in the second half, and they ended up losing that game by 10. So I'm not going to say that they're going to lose by 10, but I could see Las Vegas feeling the pressure, wanting to get a good start, back-to-back losses here, coming out, laying 4.5 in the first half. What's the team total? Let me see if I can find a first half team total. And I think that's how I would play the Aces. Play them early, get in and out with the money. I don't trust this team not being able to get stops in the second half, though, to be able to cover 8.5 points. It just feels like a lot, even with the Dallas team and no Page. If this is the weird Enrique goes off again game, then it's going to be really, really annoying. Let me see here. We got 43.5. I like that. Let's look up what's the numbers for the Aces at 43.5 here. I like 43.5. That sounds good. See, half. All right. First half points for the Aces. They haven't been too good recently to this number, though, but they've been right there 40, 43, 42, 41. It's a couple of things that would have pushed them over the edge. They did go on a little bit of a run here. 45, 47, 45, 41. And then that game against Minnesota, they couldn't get anything going in the first half. And I think the Dallas defense is bad enough. So that's how I would play it. I think that I like the team total over for the Aces a little bit more than that first half spread. But I would only play them in the first half. I'm not getting into a second half game here with the Aces. Of course, Asia Wilson, good money there. Yeah, just go ahead and ladder Asia up. She kills Dallas. It's not even just last game. She kills Dallas. So bypassing everything else with the game, I like the first half team total over, maybe a first half ATS line, and then Asia Wilson. Let's pull up your history against Dallas because I'm pretty sure there's multiple 30-point games in there. There we go. All right. She has had 37, 42, 42, 28, and 36 in her last 4 games against Dallas. So, yeah, man. I mean, honestly, like, who else is the offense? Who? She's been over, what's her line at? 23.5. She's been over 23.5 in, 5 of her last 9. And she's at 20, 15. They were throwing doubles. Like they were doing everything in the kitchen sink not to make sure she scored in the Minnesota game. So you really could throw that one out. I think she's going to be mad, pissed off, ready to go. I don't know who's going to stop her. I don't think they have the defensive plan to stop her. Over 23.5. I would ladder that as well. And let's see, is there anything else in this Aces game that is intriguing besides those 2 plays? Let's see, what's the chat? Yeah, what's going on? W's in the chat. There we go, okay. Let's see here. Nope, sorry, Jewel. I love you. As much as I love you, you're not even looking at the basket at times. As much as I love Jewel, she's not looking at the basket. Somebody told me about And here, it was in the chat one day. Somebody told me about Jackie Young on the road. And I always remember that. And I always stop playing her on the road. So whoever said that, and you know who you are. Whoever said that, shout out to you. But somebody in the chat was like, yo, watch out for Jackie Young on the road. And I was like, oh, yeah, good point. Appreciate it. Yeah, I really don't want anything else. Yeah, you know what? I don't want anything else to do with the Aces besides Jackie. However, I mean, not besides Asia. However, JJ Quinterly is actually pretty interesting. I wonder what her numbers are at. She's had a couple of dud games recently, where she got 23 points in the last game against Golden State. She only scored 3 points. She got 23 minutes the last game against the Valkyries. She only scored 3 points. She got 20 minutes the game before that against the Storm. She only scored 9. However, listen to the previous games. She had 30 minutes, 24 minutes, 31, 30, 34, 35, 32. In that game span that we're talking about, that 5-game span I just gave you, where she had 32, 35, 30, 31, 24, 30 minutes per game, she has scored 15, 17, 18, 16, 13, 17. She's been over 12 and a half points in each of them. Without Paige, and with what I expect to be an Enrique that just can't freaking score the basketball, I think JJ can have a pretty good game. So I think I'll play JJ Quinterly as well. We might talk about her in underdog, maybe. All right. With that, I think that's it for me in the Aces and the Wings game. As much as I think the Aces are due for a bounce back spot, I just don't trust them. So if you ask me for a full game, I would take the Wings plus 8.5, but I think the Aces get out to an early lead and then blow it in the second half. All right, let's see. Next game up. How much time we got? Oh, yeah, I'm making pretty good time. I'm not about to keep y'all here all day. Phoenix Mercury on the road, going to play the Washington Mystics. Mercury laying 7.5, 162.5 is the total. They're in DC. Mystics on the second leg of a back-to-back. You should just go ahead and add the autoplay here. Mystics Mercury over. Take them over for the game. Teams on the second leg of a back-to-back past 2 years been very, very good to the over. You're at some 66% here to the over for those two teams, for a team coming off of a back-to-back. So I am all over. The kids are going crazy in the next room. I don't know if you guys can hear them, but I'm going to just go ahead and fade the Mercury because they haven't been good defensively over the past 5 games on the road in particular. Last 5 road games, they're giving up 85.8 points per game. You have the Mystics, who are going to be looking to get the offense going after an extremely slow, grinded out, tough win against the Storm yesterday, but it was very, very defensive focus for them in that game. And I think that we may be able to see some regression. The offense opens up here. They try to score the ball a little bit more. And we know how the Mercury's offense can get down with the number of threes that they just want to put up. And I think that's going to be the Achilles heel for the Mystics, is if they get a bunch of threes up in pace, can the Mystics be able to keep up and guard them? Mercury on the road, last 5 games, scoring 83.2 points per game. That's 4th in the WNBA. I think they'll be able to put up their fair share of points, and I think that the defense will allow some holes there for the Mystics to be able to do their thing. So another over here for the second leg, for a team on the second leg of a back-to-back. I like over 162.5. I don't know. Give me the Mystics plus the points. Actually, believe it or not, I don't know if you guys know this. Last 2 seasons, let me just make sure I get the updated number. I've been not paying attention to this because it doesn't make sense to me. So I just haven't been paying attention to it. But last two seasons, the team that is on the second leg of a back-to-back is 24-16 ATS, 60%. Don't make sense to me. I would have thought, hey, fade the team on the second leg of a back-to-back, but it's been really, really good the past 2 seasons. And my gut's telling me that this is a Mystics game where this is just a little bit too much points. The Mystics don't care who comes into DC. they're going to give whoever their best attempt that they can, and that they're going to cover a good majority of those games. And so I think that catching these points, I like the Mystics as a dog, not as a favorite. I've kind of started to realize that over the past week or so. They play way better as a dog than they do as a favorite. So I would take the Mystics plus the points, but I think I like the over just a little bit more. Let's see. Mercury player props. Who is interesting here? What the chat say? I saw some people in the chat talking. AT over 3 turnovers. They have a turnover prop. Wait, they have turnover props? Where do you see turnover props at? Are there turnover props up here? Hold on. Oh man, we're really turning into the NBA. Yeah, there is. Who has this line? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Don't say the name. Y'all know who I'm rocking with. Team Underdog over here. Team Underdog. All right, let's see. Gray 6+ assists. That's for Chelsea Gray. Oh, I want nothing to do with Chelsea Gray right now. They're still talking about the Aces game over there. Someone did you hear him? Wait, did you hear him? That's funny. Okay. Can we trust Sykes? All right. Let's see. We're here at home. Let's see what Brittany Sykes has done against the Mercury. That's any interesting. She's been a little bit off recently. But it's all the way down at 14.5 now, though. I understood when it was like 19.5, 18.5, but 14.5, that feels kind of short. She has gone under in the last 2 games against Phoenix, including the one earlier this season. 14.5 feels really short. If you want to play under, be my guest, but I don't. I've seen Brittany Sykes be able to shoot 3 for 10 and have 15 points because she got to the free throw line. So like, I'm not necessarily there yet. All right. Let's see here. Shakira Austin. Let's go look at Shakira Austin. She's going to get the AT matchup this game for sure, I would think. AT is going to say, hey, I'm going to try to slow down Shakira Austin. Of course, she's been pretty good recently. Kira's been really good recently. They just keep giving her the ball, going to her. I'm curious on what an 18 matchup looks like here for her, but I was still 14.5 is still really short for Shakira Austin, who's going to get 10 attempts a game, at least 12 attempts, 14 attempts, 15 attempts, 10, 16, 11, last 6 games, all had double digits attempts. She's always going to get the work. You just got to hope she's inefficient for her not to get it. So Shakira points is interesting. Rebounding, I don't know. I think I actually would play AT rebounds. I don't know who's going to keep AT off the glass here. What's AT rebounds? It says 7.5. She had 11 and 13 the last 2 games. She's had 8, 1, 8, 7, 11 against the last 5 against the Mystics, 8 coming earlier this season. Yeah, I would think I would play at AT rebounds. I just can't imagine. I mean, as good as Shakira is, I don't think any of them are keeping her off the glass. Sis, yeah, sign me up, sure. I think it's an over game too. ATPRAs actually just looks good overall. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Any other questions? Kiki over rebounds already locked in the chat. Her double-doubles at plus 265. What's her rebounds at? 8.5. Yeah, I don't think she's keeping AT off the glass, but she probably still gets her own rebounds. Let's see. Question: if you don't look at somebody and I look at, why not take the under X Jewel Lloyd? Because it's Jewel Lloyd. I mean, you could take the under. Like, you could take we just talked about Sykes. You could take the under on Jewel Lloyd and say, hey, Jewel Lloyd's been horrible. She just shot 0 for 10. Like, sure. But her points prop is also 10.5 points. So Jewel Lloyd, somebody that can shoot the 3 amazingly when she actually looks up at the basket. She can score from the mid-range when she actually looks up at the basket. I just don't like playing those games. I'm good. If I have an under, I'd rather have a good reason than taking an under rather than this player's just sucking, because all these players are playing the W. So, like, they're all good players. They can all score at will. That's why I'm not really into the Brittany Sykes under today because it's at 14 and a half points. And it's like, yo, she can slide over 14 and a half very, very easily here. All right. Let's see. That's just not my style of betting. Somebody else probably bets like that, but not me. I don't just bet people just because they're in a slump because basketball players can get out of a slump literally any second. Let's see. And I also took a L betting an under against Dallas before. I think it was Aaliyah Boston. And I was like, why did I ever do that? Why would I ever take anybody's under against Aaliyah Boston? Eddie, what up, boy? All right. What's next? Anything? No, I don't got anything else that I'm really interested in this one. All right. We got one more game. Cool. Before I get to that, though, gotta talk to you and get us paid one more time. We're talking about mybookie.ag because you can get down on all these lines and more over there at mybookie.ag. You can get down on WNBA, MLB, golf, your NFL futures, your college football futures, all over there at mybookie.ag. Easy deposit, get lightning fast payouts using cryptocurrency. mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Rhythm. Let's fire up the Rhythm Labs, see what they have going on for the Power Trend player props today. Of course, if you don't know already, the Power Trends are where Rhythm's models have consistently won, have a high ROI, and they give out the very, very best in plays. The Power Trends have been hitting at over 60% for the WNBA this season. So let's see what they have cooking up here on the slate today. Now, I will admit, I do like this play. It has Brittany Sykes over 3.5 rebounds at plus money. That's really short for her. I'll let you know, I've interviewed Brittany Sykes multiple times at this point. She has always talked about her willingness and her love for rebounding the basketball. I think I was at the game where she got 1,000 rebounds for her career. It was some type of career milestone for rebounding. And she was like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. And she was very, very happy to hear that she hit a rebounding milestone because that's what she loves to do. She loves to go rebound, grab the basketball, create extra possessions from her team, especially from the guard position. Like, she finds a lot of pride in that. Plus, if you've ever seen Brittany Sykes, she's got hops and she goes up there and she can snag rebounds. So what are her rebounds number? Because that actually sounds interesting. I didn't look into that. She's been over 4 rebounds in 5 of her last 10. A little bit inconsistent here, but she's been very good against the Mystics. Gone over 4 in the last 2 games against the Mystics. Not Mystics, I'm sorry. She's on the Mystics against the Mercury. Been very good, hitting this about 55% on the season. This plus money, plus 130, yeah. A prop like that, and I'm getting that much plus money on it, I'll take a stab on Brittany Sykes over 3.5 rebounds. That is a Power Trend over there brought to you by Rhythm. You can get that and more. And I'm telling you, wow, that's an interesting Power Trend. They have a lot of Power Trends here for you today. Make sure you lock in with with Rhythm at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM to lock in with their Power Trends. Oh, wow, they have a lot. They have a lot going today, by the way. Yeah, y'all need to get in Rhythm right now. There's a lot of Power Trends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 Power Trend bets for you here today. 60%. Come on. Atlanta Dream on the road. Going to play the Minnesota Lynx. Lynx are laying 8. 159 is the total. What's the injury report here? They're laying 8. Let's see. We know Ryan Howard is out for the foreseeable future. By the way, that last game, Aaliyah Edwards is still out. Let's just throw that back in there. Nope, nothing else. Don't have any updated injury report for the Atlanta Dream. Looks like everybody's good to go. Maya Caldwell's still going to probably be in the starting lineup. Going up against a full-strength Minnesota Lynx team. 8 points. I feel like I like the Dream as a big dog. 8 points. Is there anything that can scare me off of the Dream going on the road with 8 points? I understand it's the Lynx, but let's see. Last 5 games, Dream 2-5, 2-3 on the road in their last 5. It's not the best. ATS 2-3 straight up. Defensively, they're both still really, really good. Dream #1 team last 5 games defensively on the road. Lynx #1 team last 5 games defensively at home. So 2 really strong defensive matchups, which would go against the Atlanta Dream going over on the road trend. That would be annoying because the Dream 8-5 to the over. I guess if there is a time for them to go under on the road, it would be this game. That's still low total. I could still see them squeaking over that. I just don't think the Dream are dead in the water without Ryan Howard. Like, I think Alicia Gray can help carry them a little in this game. This is the one I really couldn't come to a consensus on because it feels like a lot of points. Let me see. This is where Scott would come in handy. Scott can help push me from one side or another. Yeah, still really, really good defensively. Lynx, 8-1 ATS in their last 9 at home. I mean, really, really good home ball going on here but 3-5-1 in the first half. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Lynx have struggled in the first half, like a good majority of the season. Last 10 games overall, 2-6-1 in the first half. What's the full season from? 7-15-2 in the first half all season. 6-6-1 as a home favorite. Yeah, 6-6-1 at home in the first half. 9-4 for the full game. So I guess if I go Dream and if I sell myself into this Atlanta Dream angle, it would really only be in the first half and just not even play with the second half with the Lynx at home here. 8-5 on the road this season in the first half are the Atlanta Dream. Very good stuff. 2-10-1 in the first half to that total. 5-8 to the total for the Lynx in the first half. So I think that's where I would go with this. Because I really think that, like with Bree Jones, Brittany Griner, I think that they're going to give this Lynx team a lot of problems inside of the paint. And they're not going to be able to double both of them. So yeah, give me Dream early. All right, so what's the Dream early line at? First half, +4.5, Atlanta Dream, +215. Really? Okay. All right, so not mad at that. I like the under in the first half at the very least. Maybe the second half, that's where the scoring picks up and it goes over. But the Dream go under in the first half. So I like the under in the first half. I like the Atlanta Dream in the first half. Not sold on the full game, though. I'm still very 50-50 on the full game. All right. Bet that's my plays for that. Let's see the chat. Chat. ZB Miami weekend basketball is crazy. Yes, sir. Rails come back to the WNBA. What's up, Bear Commander? What's going on? Scott's out the way right now. Collier. Yeah, let's get to Collier. Let's get to play props. Cool. Shouts out to the chat. W's in the chat. I'm about to start taking this solo one-man show on the road to Twitch. And I'm about to get on Twitch because I seen all the streamers at like Streamer University, like all them young dudes that getting that money. Shoot, we could do it for WNBA, NBA, NFL. We could just go up there, talk about bets, watch the games, and just do nothing all day. And people get paid for that. Like, why not? That sounds fun. That don't sound fun? Would y'all hang out with me? Like, if I just had a Twitch in a room and I was watching games, what else would I watch? I probably watch wrestling sometimes. I probably watch some other stuff. But like just watching stuff and just betting. Would y'all watch me on Twitch? Answer that while I sit here and figure out what I'm gonna bet here on the Dream and the Lynx. No, Nafisa Collier over 3.5 assists, easy. First bet on the docket. It's at +120. Last 6 games, she's been over for the last 6, 5, 5, 5, 4, 0, 2. So she's been really good the last 4. Uh, what's this? What's the head to head? Head to head against the Dream 6, 4, 4, 7. And this is plus money. Feast Collier over 4.5 assists. Let's see here. What's Alicia Gray do against the Minnesota Lynx? I would like to think that they are probably going to try to close in on her today. Yesterday they had no issue throwing double teams at Asia, so I just assume they're going to do everything they can to not let Alicia Gray go off. She's at 17 in back-to-back games, so maybe she can squeak over her points prop. Collier. So I like the Collier assist angle. What's her points at? $20.5 over. She had 26 last game. Yeah, over. I think Nafisa Collier probably doesn't need to be under 22 points ever. 20.5 is just too close. I say over. Bree Jones. What's Bree Jones' line? I've been betting Bree Jones a lot. Bree Jones, let's see. She's at 18 against them earlier this season. Been pretty good. Numbers low at 11.5. Yeah, you got to go for Bree Jones at 11.5 here. I like that. I'm more of a Bree Jones than Brittany Griner. I prefer Bree Jones over Griner, but I'm not mad if you pick Griner. I think that's just me. I think it's just preference, honestly, and depending on who they decide to feed the ball this time around. And then anything from Minnesota that I'm interested in besides the feast, not really. Maybe a Caleb McBride play, maybe. Courtney Williams, 11.5 RA. That's a little too high. I'll let that fall again. Yeah, maybe a Caleb McBride play. That would be the only thing I could potentially look at. But I love Fee over 3.5 assists. I really like the points. I really like Bree Jones as well. Points, 11.5. I like that. All right. I like the first half for the Dream as well. I really think the Dream are going to find themselves in this game. Okay. Well, guess it's now time for lock and dog picks. Let's see here. What can I lock? The over on the second leg of a back-to-back's been really good to me recently. I don't want to put anything on the aces. I'm good with that. Wow. Is it going to be? No, I shouldn't make my lock in the 1 o'clock game. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to choose a later game for people that can hear this a little bit later. But Valkyries and Connecticut Sun. For my people that at Betting Pros, you're going to hear me bet Valkyries and Connecticut Sun over in just a minute. For all my listener over there at Betting Pros, make sure you tap into Fast Break Bets. Get into the Betting Pros Discord, bettingpros.com/chat. Sorry, free promo for me. All right, lock for this show, though. I still do think the Valkyries have a good chance, especially with Melty and Charles. I still think they have a good chance. I don't want anything to do with Chicago. Dallas. It would really just be Asia. Yeah. And she's had two off games. What was that? What was Asia's last 2 games? Hold on, chat. Asia. Where's Asia? There we go. All right. Back to Asia's last 2 games. She had, 15 and 20. Yeah. Lock. Asia Wilson, over 23.5 points. Easy. I'm sorry, it's a Saturday, low-hanging fruit. I'm going to grab it. Asia over 23.5 points. It's against Dallas. Come on. So that's the lock for the dog. Man, the Minnesota Lynx really do play down. And I remember seeing the Atlanta Dream go on the road at Liberty and have a lead at half. It's somebody else. It's another game that was it. Oh, they just played Phoenix as a pretty big dog, had a lead at half. It's somebody else too, and they had a lead at half. So you know what? For the dog, I'm gonna get a little juicy. Give me the Atlanta Dream on the money line in the first half plus 215. I think that they're going to be in the game. I think it'll be competitive. I don't think the Minnesota Lynx are just going to run away with it. Maybe a little bit slower of a pace, especially in the first half where the Dream are really good defensively, and then it opens up in the second half, and then that's maybe where the Dream kind of blow this. But they make it competitive for a half, so I'll take the Dream in the first half on the money line as a dog, and let's do an underdog lineup. Well, before I get to underdog, let me check the chat real quick. Courtney Williams, PR. Oh, look at all y'all. Oh, shout out to Bear Commander talking about maybe you would watch. You know you would watch. Shouts out to y'all. Courtney Williams, PRA. Shouts out to that. Bridget, 3 point over 1.5. Let's see. Some days Collier doesn't like looking at the basket, but it's crazy because like she's just so good. Bree Jones has been under machine lately. Has she really? I don't think that's true. Is that true? Where's Bree Jones at? Oh, well, yeah. Guess so. She's been under 4 over the last 5. You're right. Definitely Asian. Whoa. Whoa. What's up with the Asian Wilson 8 year today? Yeah, I oddly like Dallas plus 8.5 too. Boston 3.5 assists. Oh, I think that's what he was saying earlier. Not 3.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. I feel like somebody said that earlier. So that's the second time that's come up. All right, let's get to underdog. Well, Natasha Howard, first short. Another game without Caitlin Clark. I'm going to continue to run back Natasha Howard. So let's add that in the queue. Natasha Howard, higher. Oh, it's 13.5 over here on. We'll put an asterisk about by Natasha Howard. If something else pops up on my radar, I'll do it. But I don't know why Underdog has her at 13.5 here. I did like, what did I like in that Valkyrie's Janelle Salon? Yep, 13.5 higher. Let's go ahead and add that. Cool. I do like the AT rebounds higher, 7.5. Let's put that on the card. So I have 3 picks. Is there anything that I would like to replace that Natasha Howard pick with? Oh, fee assist. All right. All right, Natasha Howard. I'm not going to play you today, but I'll probably have a side bet on you. I'm not going to lie because I see 12.5 somewhere else. So we got Janelle Salon, higher, 13.5 points. Nafisa Collier, higher, 3.5 assists. And Alyssa Thomas, higher, 7.5 rebounds. You put that in underdog, shake it up, and you're going to get 7.66x. That is $100. Get you $766 over there at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. All right, chat. Scott's not here, so last chance. Anything else to say? Anything else? Burton 21.5 PRA by Lane Gretzky. That's his bet today. I like it. I feel like I got a man's that I'm in a group chat with, and he loves playing Burton's rebounds. So that makes me, yeah, sure. I like that. Eddie's lighting up Mary Jane. I'm fitting to go do that right now. Shouts out to her. All right. With that, that's it. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Solo Dolo. If you're listening on the back end and you're catching these plays late, just drop a like and a comment in the video, please, really quickly. Everybody else that is out there on X, can you head over to YouTube, drop a like, comment, all of that, wherever you get your podcast, whether it's Apple, Spotify, even if you don't use it, 5-star rate and review, please. Really could use it. 5-star rate and review. With that, that's it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just gonna end it like this. Wait. Hold that thought. What's Janelle Salon's double-double? Hold that thought. Hold that thought, because also Tina Charles is not playing. Well, if she's not playing, they said questionable, but I don't think the official Tina Charles out news happened. What's Salon's double-double? I just thought about that. I literally just thought about it. Hold on. 5-1. We're out of here.